Hey guys, how you doing? This is Kevin from my office, playing with my music volume. All right. Hey, I just wanted to do our very first executive team vodcast. I just wanted to say hey to everybody and kind of give you the low on kind of some things that are on my mind, some directions that we're kind of going in, and fill you in on some thinking that I've just had in the last couple days that I want us to really kind of move towards. Not everybody was able to be at the last meeting, so I'm going to do a little bit of a recap on one of the main things. Share something kind of, relational kind of something that kind of came to me, and maybe it can apply to you in some way, just not at church, but just in life. And then begin to kind of lay the template for hopefully the meeting rhythm that's coming up over the next few months. So anyway, first of all, last week when we met, we discussed this idea and this challenge and a strategy for us to kind of go to the next level as a team. There was people were kind of spread out a little bit. We didn't have a huge crowd that night. So I just want to unpack this a little bit with you guys. One of the things we talked about was that, like, in the early stages of the church, so like we were very close. This is something that was primarily because of startup. Proximity was very high. We felt very much in relationship and very focused on what we were doing, and so there was a lot of momentum. But now that we're in the new normal, fall's kind of, taken off, and it seems like now things are a little more spread out. The communications aren't as often, and the real community times are a little bit fewer and far between, especially even with our meetings. I mean, we're spreading them out a little bit. And actually, that's a little bit by design, and we'll get to that in a minute. But one of the things I want you guys to understand is this goes wider. It's real easy for us as leaders to be able to kind of substitute relationship for Sunday morning. And we kind of fool ourselves into that. And so the result is we become very inward focused in terms of how we connect with each other on Sunday, and really begin to this process of really trying to make something happen that really can't happen. There's just not enough time to do that. And so what I'm trying to do is encourage you guys to consider making sure that you're at least intentional about the relationships that you feel like you need to be intentional about on the team. And so I want you guys to live there and think about that. But the other part of it is this, is a lot of times when we're like this, we have other kinds of people on our teams who really want to enter into that level of community. But because they're not involved in any of the other kinds of outside types of conversations that are going on, they really don't get a chance to engage, and a lot of times the vision doesn't really get to them. And what the result of that is there's a line like this, and they end up like bouncing off the line. They just come in and go, phew, and we wonder why they're not like completely bought in, or maybe they don't return emails or phone calls, that kind of thing. There's not a connection there. So one of the challenges I've given our team to do in the coming weeks is to build triangles. And triangles are not necessarily neglecting this, but adding that component to it. I can see through there, really good. And when we do that, when a triangle takes place, it draws more people in to the context of really what we're trying to do. And it's not just ministry to those who come every week, ministry to each other, leading and being a part of what's going on in their lives as well. So I just want to challenge us to do that. Now, one component that I'm working on right now is a component where we have called the story cue cards. And I'm working on those actually today. And hopefully we'll have those for Sunday. But just basically a card that we're going to give you. It's worth 2 drinks in a cafe for you to be able to sit down with anybody on your team, or anybody you might even want to recruit for that matter, to where you can sit down and say, hey, tell me your story. And story is huge and visible, because when you know their story, there's a level of connection. It's just a step further. And so I just want to really just challenge you guys to leverage the middle hour better and knock it out of the park. And so I'm going to give you those. I'll find a way to get those to you as we go ahead. Second thing we have coming up is kind of like our meeting structures. We've been kind of now pushing our executive team meetings to every other week. And typically it's been like Wednesday evenings and that kind of thing. And so one of the things I want to challenge us to do in the coming week, next Wednesday we'd have a scheduled meeting at 6:30 here at the church. And what I would like to do is invite maybe some people off your team to this meeting. We're going to work through the 4 helpfuls, and we're going to, what's right, what's wrong, what's missing, what's confused. And we're going to take a real look at it, and it'll add some fresh eyes, but also it'll begin to set the stage for broadening and being able to have specific meetings, rainforest meetings, specific velocity meetings, specific student men, middle school, high school, all that, check-in, all that. It really begins to set the tone for you guys to be able to invite some key people. And we can talk about that if you guys have questions as to who to invite. But the important thing is that we start to have more voices in the cross-functional elements that go on as we begin to assess and look at things. So that's one thing. So next week, hopefully we have a great turnout. I want to encourage you to begin thinking about who you would ask, who you would email, and ask to come. We'll have food and we'll have all that, but I just wanted to challenge you guys to do that, because eventually what's going to happen is our every other week will become once a month type of things. Will be a monthly checkup, and what will happen is we'll encourage a rhythm to happen within an area, within rainforest, within velocity, to do that. And I obviously will be involved at the beginning stages of those, but hopefully turn those over to the volunteer leaders who are leading those meetings. And so you guys can take things to a whole nother level, and that I'm not a bottleneck for that. So that's kind of where that is. The last thing is just something to think about. I'm at 7 minutes and 22 seconds, so I'm going to really try to keep this like within 10 total minutes. So, okay, so what I was thinking about this the other day. I might have shared this with some of you. I was thinking about this whole idea of relationships, and really there's a myth in relationships that think that relationships are really 50-50 in terms of this. I give 50% and you give 50%. The reality is it's not that way. The reality is my 100% equals 50%, and your 100% equals 50%. And at any point in time that I fail to be at 100%, to maintain a relationship, you may have to give 120. And really, that's not sustainable for any relationship we're in. One of the places where that happens the easiest and the fastest is our families. And I want you guys to be very cognizant of that. I'm telling you right now, if you're going to cheat anything, you're going to cheat the church. And I'm telling you, I'm giving you permission. The last thing I want to do is hear a story about how you are burned out, because that shouldn't be the case. And so I want to make sure that we have palatable levels of involvement, and that we're starting to spread responsibility around a little bit, and ask those who have potential to lead, and those who are leading to lead leaders. So that's kind of where we're tracking. That's kind of what we're trying to build. But I really do want you to know that you may be in a relationship where you are running the 120%, and if that's you and you're running that 120%, that is not sustainable. So if that involves me in some way, I give you permission. If you say, Kevin, man, I'm running with this, but I feel like my 100% isn't going to be enough, we need to talk. And it would be like that with any relationship that you have. So I just say all that to say that that can apply in a lot of places. And I just encourage you to do relational audits. Maybe make a list and ask yourself, where am I doing? How am I doing on this? I got 15 seconds left. I just want to say a huge thank you. You guys have profoundly touched myself and my family in a huge, huge way. And you guys have demonstrated God's love that has left a mark. That's pretty much, I can't even give it justice to even try to find words. So thank you. And I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I'm praying for you guys. Think about who you're going to invite next week, because I want to pray for them too. And I'm excited. I am. I'm excited about the next level for us. I'm excited about the next level for many of you as leaders, and what the opportunities we have here in terms of how we lead and develop and work in our part of New Point here in Canton, and how we can be a big part of doing some serious damage for the kingdom of God. So, guys, thank you. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy everything that is out there sunshine-wise. I'm sorry, I went 11 minutes, 10:55. So I'm going to say goodbye and turn on some music and all that good stuff for you guys. So have fun with that. Here we go. Here it comes. There you go. Bye, guys.